Think we're live. Let's see. Are we live? Yes, we are. Welcome to the Color Up Podcast. Today, we're going to be looking at a lot of things, but you may have noticed some things are different if you're watching it. But today, we're asking the question, maybe it's a statement. Have you been playing craps wrong? What is this happening? What is it? What's going on? And we've got a special guest today. So welcome to Substitute Sunday. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, Jeremy has not shaved his head and grown a beard. Jeremy is off cruising. And we have a special guest host. So it's Substitute Sunday out here. And we have the expert on cruising, the holy roller himself, everybody's best buddy. It's Brian. Brian, welcome to the Color Up podcast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? And thanks, Jim, for being here. And Jeremy, I just got off one. He got on one. So
yeah, it's pretty
he's
neat.
cruising and I'm not. That's the difference. We switched places.
This is incredible. That you got off one and that you're getting on one, and that after just one cruise with you, Jeremy has gone full tilt, and he's loving it. So he went from a guy who never went on a cruise to becoming definitely a cruiser there. So, but anyway, tonight's topic is going to be: have we been playing craps wrong? Jeremy put a video about a month ago that was kind of similar to what Brian put out a video this week. Brian's video has got nothing to do with cruising. It dares to raise the question: have we been playing craps wrong? But before we do that, I think we should, as a substitute thing, like when you have a substitute teacher at school, Brian, maybe introduce yourself a little bit to Jeremy's audience. I'm sure everybody knows you, but in case there's a couple people who are new,
just in case,
tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Brian. I made a channel called Holy Roller based on discovering on accident when I went on a cruise, went to the casino, and then started getting free cruise offers. And I'm like, how come nobody knows about this? So I decided to make a channel that shares it. There are some haters of the channel, though. They're like, the first rule about the free cruise club is you don't talk about the free cruise club. So I let the secret out of the bag, and I show people how to get free cruises by playing craps or playing in the casino on cruise ships. Specifically, Royal Caribbean is where I go, but it's on all cruise ships. You can probably earn a free cruise if it has a casino.
Okay. So how long you been running your channel, Brian?
About 3 years. About
Okay.
3 years now. And after the first year of cruising every month, pretty much, I decided about halfway through that to start building up some content, and then I launched the channel.
Okay.
So, and
Very
with the
good.
help of Jeremy, which does such a great job with his channel, I learned so much from watching his channel and learning craps. And so I reached out to him and said, hey, what do you think? And so we kind of went back and forth, and I'm a part of the Color Up Club. So that was great to just support him and what he's doing. And then it's been great because he's given me some tips and pointers for my channel as well.
Awesome. Well, very good. Well, we're going to be talking tonight about, have we been playing craps wrong, a specific strategy video that you put out. And it was very intriguing to me, and I think it'll be very intriguing to a lot of our listeners. But before we get to that, in your world, we had some major, what's the word I'm looking for? Major news in your world.
Well, it's shocking. People were scared. People were shocked. And you're talking about the cruise offers that looked like they were changing.
Like they were cutting them in half or something. And
Yeah,
would have been devastating for the Holy Roller channel.
I was like, okay, that's it. It was fun while it lasted. But it was a big misunderstanding, I think, because on December 1st, they all the ships put up this sign, because if you go to the casino host desk, you'll see this sign and it tells you how many points you need for a free cruise.
And it's always the same, right?
It's always the same, but this one looked a little bit different. It was a lot more wordier. There's a bunch of words on it. And so people look, why is it different? And it said a cruise, and then there was this little word, OR. It said or.
Or
You get a cruise for one at this level, with this many points, you would get a cruise for one, and you have to play a discount. You get a discount on your second guess. And
Uh-huh.
so that was bold. That was in bold writing. And people were like, wait a minute. You mean we only get a cruise for one, not a cruise for two anymore? And it just exploded on all of the platforms and everybody talking. They're changing everything. And so on the first night, I actually started the video. So I'm like, we have a code red situation, and then once I started reading the fine print, um, it was the same. They were just adding a longer list for people that want a cruise for one. Like you don't have to get a cruise for two. So that was the big shocker. So
Okay.
they did so that when you have a cruise for two, there might be a list like with 800 or 1200 points. There might be a list of like 10 or 15 cruises to choose from.
Okay.
Well, the cruise for one, it's a whole nother list, and there's like 20 to choose from. So I was trying to look at the positive. You got more cruises to choose from, whether you want a cruise for two or a cruise for one. So it's a good thing. I think it's a good
Okay.
change.
All
I'm
right.
not
So
sure if it's
nothing to panic
too
about, right?
well, unless you're a solo cruiser. We have to find out if can a solo cruiser choose the cruise for two, or they have to choose the cruise for one. Because the big question is, if they have to choose the cruise for one, do they have to pay a discount for that second guest, even though the second guest doesn't go? So that's the thing we have to find out. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel.
There you
Not
go.
not not only this channel, but my channel. We'll find out really soon.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks for clarifying that because I know that was a big thing in the cruise community, like you were saying, and you put out a couple videos on that to try to clear that up a little bit as much as you can at this point in time with the
Yeah.
information that you have. Well, let's dive on into our big topic of tonight, and it is, have we been playing craps wrong? And let's just start from the basic, how most people play. I know I'm a come better, and a lot of people don't like my 3 point Molly or however many come bets I have coming. But most people who play are pretty much place betters.
Yeah.
And usually, if it's a $10 table, what are most people doing?
Well, I would say most people are doing 44 inside. $44 inside, $10 on the five, and $10 on the nine, $12 on the six, and $12 on the eight. $44.
And
And
why are they doing that, Brian?
well, I think well, there's 36 different combinations of the dice. And
Okay.
if you get a six and eight, there's five ways to make a six, five ways to make an eight. So that's 10 combination. There's four ways to make a five and four ways to make a nine. So with those four numbers, you can get 18 combinations of dice. That's half the combinations.
Yes.
So you have a 50-50 chance.
You kind of flexing a little bit.
I guess.
Flexing a little bit. Okay.
But I think when we think about it, we think, okay, so let's think about one number. If you put $12 on the six and the six
Boom.
hits, the six rolls, what do you get? Do you know?
14 big ones, Brian.
So you're out of the hand. You're playing for free, and you have a $2 profit.
Feels pretty good.
So when you think about it, you're betting $12 to win two, not to win 14, because you're betting your 12. You're getting
Hmm.
paid 14, but the
Hmm.
difference is two.
Okay.
So then your $12 is there, because normally you don't take it down, do you? Well, I guess yours would
No.
come back to you.
Yeah, but when I do occasionally do it, sometimes I'll leave it up there. Yeah, if I'm gambling, I will do that. Yeah, leave it up there. Sure.
So you can win $14 if you don't leave the $12 that you started with out there, right?
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. But then the roll's over for you if you don't have anything else bet.
Hmm. So
So
then
let's
I've
say,
only won $2, and I could have lost 12.
yeah. Or if you took it down, you could win 14. You could be a
Okay.
$14 profit. That's over 100% profit. If the
Woo!
six hits, great odds, right?
Doubled my money and then some.
Five ways to make a six out of 36 combinations, and that's a great payoff if you take it
Okay.
down. But no, normally we leave it there, so we walk away. We have $2 on profit.
Okay.
Well,
So
now
what
now
about
let
that 44? Now get back to the 44.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
on the six, one
So now
number.
you're like, well, they can roll over. How many times do you think they can roll before they hit a six? There's only five combinations. It could be
A
they can
lot
not
or
hit a
very,
six.
yeah. You could hit a 7 in a hurry sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, well, I need to get an eight as well. That's 10 combinations. And then you're betting 24, same scenario. You
Hmm.
bet, and you need two hits to win $4 on 24. And then if you add the five, the nine, now you're $44. You're betting $44 and you're betting $44 to
Right.
win 14. So you're still minus after hitting one of the half the combinations. The
Right.
five, six, eight, or nine, you are still minus, right?
Hmm.
And so now you have to hit another one for another 14. Now you have $28,
28. Okay.
but you bet $44. So you're still losing money if
Yeah.
big red,
Big roll. Yeah.
yeah, big red comes.
So how many hits altogether before you need to get that 44 covered or
Well,
back?
I think a good way to think about it is if you're going to bet four numbers, you need four hits. If you're going to bet
Okay.
one number, you need one hit, two numbers, two hits, just to get out of the hand. So the idea is the point, and Jeremy talks about this a lot, is get your money back or get out of the hand as fast as possible, or don't risk as much, to and then work your way up. And that's
Okay.
kind of like the way you do it. You risk $10. Well, let's talk about the way you do it. So you
So
risk $10,
coming. Yeah. Come back.
then it goes to a point,
Right.
right? Then you put some odds on it, probably,
Yeah.
right?
Put single odds probably. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
single odds. So that if on a $10 table you have $20,
right.
and then you put another comeback,
10 coming. Yeah.
and and so you're really risking, if the seven comes, you'll get 10 back. So you're
Little
really risking
rebate. Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you have the 30 and then that one moves, now you have $40 at risk
That's
with
right.
two numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how much can you win? Well, you
No,
probably put another one
yeah, I put another
because
one.
you'll do
Yeah, I have
three.
3. Yeah, I do
So
3.
that so now you have, and that
20,
covers,
40, 60 dollars out there if I stop at 3
yeah.
come bets, and then bam, 1-7 comes and knocks them all out. So
Yeah. So if you have $60 out there after you're set with 3 points,
I
because
need
you
some
don't go back
repeaters.
again.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
some
So
repeaters.
then, but how much can you win with your
Yeah,
60 or 20, 40, $60?
sixty
How much
dollars
can
out
you
there.
win?
So on the
If it was a
basis,
four
yeah,
10,
yeah, on
that'll
the
be your
basis of
biggest
all,
win.
yeah, on the base, they all get paid $10, and then the rest of them it depends on the number. On the 410, I get my 10 will pay 20. So
Yeah.
altogether, I'll win $30 on the 4 of the 10. So that's half of the, $60 out there. But then you're right. I would need 2 more hits, so I
Yeah.
need 3 hits for 3 combats, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And repeaters would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. If I
Yeah.
get them, So that's true. You're right.
Yeah. So
So,
I think that's the thing, that's the premise. That's the idea of why I'm saying maybe we're playing this wrong, because we're betting our money and we think we're betting $44 inside,
mhm.
and we think that one hit is enough. We think, oh, that's great. I don't know.
Okay.
But how can, and I think when you think about it, one out of six, you have a 1 out of 6 chance, right? That the seven's going to come and wipe all that money out. And so then we try to do the don't pass or hedge the bet, or all this kind of stuff.
All the systems, all that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we come up with all these systems to try to protect our money when it's all at risk, but not all at risk. And I mean, that's kind of 3 point Molly getting
Mhm.
going. You kind of protect yourself up front, but then you get to the point where they
It's
hit the point, your 3 bets are out there, the odds on a come out, you could still lose half your money except for the odds.
yeah.
Yeah. I had a question for you about that though.
Okay. Go
What
ahead.
why not work if you want that number to hit, why not work your odds on a come out?
Again, I will defer back to Mr. Color Up himself. On every long roll, there's going to be a 7, and it's going to have to come out on the come out. And if it does, I'll just eat the 2 or 3 come bets that I'll have out there and consider it lucky to get a rebate on
A
my
little rebate.
odds. Yeah,
Well, and
that's what I
I
call it.
think I
Yeah,
think that's
so
what
that's
people
fine.
do for hedging too. You know, if they play
Mhm.
on the don't pass and then they, maybe a kind of a light in the darkness thing or the dark side, light side thing where they'll play the don't pass for $25 and then they'll get a 6 and 8 for $24.
Okay.
Hope to hit a 6 or 8. If they don't, the 7 comes, then they get 25. But if the point comes, they lose 25. So they're
Right.
only risking half their
Seesaw,
money.
seesaw. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what
So let me ask you. Then you're saying it's impractical or we're wrong to want those 3 hits, or you're saying there's a better way, or what are you saying, Brian?
I'm saying, okay, so what if, and I know we don't know exactly where it came from, but Jeremy talks about it a lot. If you're going to do 44 inside,
Mhm.
how much money do you think you should bring to the table if you want to play 44 inside?
So Jeremy has always said, and I've asked him before where he got this from, but you want to have enough money for 10 shooters. So if
Uh-huh.
you're going 44 inside, and assuming you're not shooting or whatever, you need at least $440. 10 times whatever your base is.
Yeah, so you have 10 shots at it.
Yeah.
But
So
if
yeah.
you're
hmm
going to roll a couple times
You
and you're
need
still
those
going to do
pass line
44
bets. Yeah,
inside,
you might
yeah.
maybe $500. Yeah, 500
Yeah,
bucks.
so I always think like if you're going to play one number, bring. Well, I think two numbers. That's where it starts. If you got two numbers, then bring $300. If you want to
hmm
play with four numbers, bring $500.
hmm
Five numbers, $600. If you want to bet all the numbers across, bring that's six numbers, bring $700. Just one hundred
Okay.
dollars more than however many numbers you're going to bet for your 10 shooters. That's one concept, right? That we talk about.
hmm
Well, how many hits do you need if you get all six numbers?
I think we're going to be needing what, 5 or 6, right?
Yeah, 6 hits. Maybe, yeah,
6.
you
Yeah.
might get away with five, but
5 if you hit the outsides. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but you're gonna need 6 hits to break even. To
Yeah.
break even. So then, of course, people say, "Oh, that's why you have to press your bets." You
Right.
press your bets. So if one hits, you press it, you double it, and then if it hits again, then you take it back down. Press,
Right.
regress, right? So you
Yes.
press, collect, and regress. So there's those three steps. And
So
but still,
what
you need some more hits. You need
you
some
need some
repeaters.
hits.
Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we need multiple hits. So sounds like everybody's playing that way. What is this? What's wrong about that? Is there a better way? Is there a way that's out there that we could get
Okay.
out after one hit?
Well, yes, there's a couple different ways, but this is
Okay.
this is the premise of what I was talking about with the video.
Yes, go ahead.
We talked about now and I think people don't bring enough money when they want to play their system. I think they have a system they want to play, but their bankroll doesn't match their system.
They
So
want to lowball it. Yeah.
like how many times we have already said that 44 inside, $500. But what did they buy in with? Three.
Yep.
To hope to get through 10 shooters,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So this is what I thought. And you tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
So if I wanted to bet 44 inside, okay, like that's my goal. That's like our goal. Normally I'd bring $500 to play 44 inside, but if I get one hit that pays at least $44, then I could take all that money down and put
Mhm.
the winnings, $44. I could put the winnings after one hit and I could play after one hit, I could play. But this is going to cost a little bit more. So instead of $44 times, and 500, times 10 or
Mhm.
whatever,
Right, right, right.
in order for me to get paid $44 on one hit, like inside, say we're just playing the inside numbers, $49 would cost, on a five, it would be $35,
Okay.
$42 on the six, $42 on the eight, and $35 on the nine. Each one of those will pay $49.
All right.
Did you do the math on that? What is it?
154. 154, right?
154 dollars inside. One hit pays $49, and then I could go to 44 inside with what? $5 profit?
Yeah. Yeah.
$4. Yeah,
Four,
$5.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
$4 or $5 profit. Yeah, because we're on the inside. We don't have to pay any VIGs
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be $5.
So if I want to bet 44 inside and I have $154, going back to the 10 shooters, right?
Hmm.
Then how much, if I want to play 44 inside and I know I'm going to have to do 154 per shooter, how much money should I bring to the craps table?
If you're going with Jeremy's view of things, you should bring enough bankroll for 10 shooters,
Yeah.
which you're talking $1,500, $1,600, fifteen
Yeah.
forty plus. You're going to need $10 every once in a while to shoot yourself.
Yeah. So I
And
would, yeah, $1,600. We could play craps for 44 inside with $1,500. A little bit different. It's an
mhm.
expensive game.
Oh, it's high risk for a low baller like me and our Mr. Color Up Jeremy. And by the way, we are powered by Sports Grid. I got to get that in there.
Yes, we
Powered.
are.
We are powered, and we appreciate that. But yeah, $1,500, 154 out there to win 49. That's a bit rich for the $10 at a time.
Yeah,
Come better.
but but is as far as percentage, is the percentages any different? You
No,
know, I mean,
the
the
house edge, and
risk. Yeah,
the house edge is the same no matter what how big the bet is on a place bet. So whether it's a $10, $12 bet versus a
yeah,
150 or 49, $35 bet, $48 bet, it's the same house edge. So take the house edge out of the equation, they're still going to get the same piece of the pie on it. It goes
yeah.
to me it's going to go back to the probabilities. And for that
Uh,
7, it's going to roll 16 point whatever it is, 6-7% of the time. So you're risking 154 with a 16 and some percent chance that Big Red's going to pop up and knock you down. So
yeah, and in this case, somebody rolls a point, you put out 154, their second
mhm,
roll, it could be a .7 out or a PSO, right? They call it .7 out. They establish a point, and the next
mhm,
roll's a 7. We see
mhm.
that a lot, and you would lose 154 trying to win $49 so that you can play $44. And I think that's the big thing. People are like, well, how would you recover? How would you
Yeah.
recover? But even if you were doing the 44 inside, you need 4 hits, and the same thing happens.
Mhm.
Now your 4 hits becomes 8 hits on the next round. And then if it happens again, then it's 12 hits you need. So I mean, it's the same percentage, but I think uh, having that 1 hit instead of trying to get 4 hits or 5 hits or whatever. What do you think about that? I mean, I guess for you kind of leverage your risk with coming out at a little bit at a time.
Yeah, for me, the way I play that, you're right. That's what I do. For me, that's why I'm a come better. It's low house edge, and it's a little bit of money at a time, and it's hoping for the best, just like everybody else. And I'm just not one of these guys to just dive on in. If I'm bringing $500 to the table, I don't want to put 154 of that out there to do it. Which again, if I was going to play it that way, I would have to, like you said, bring a bigger bankroll to do
Yeah,
that. And
yeah,
it would be very difficult for a low baller like me to do it. Now, if I had that kind of money, it's very intriguing to me to go risk one time to win, basically win a third of your money. You put 150 out there to win a third of it, so that way you can play and hopefully recoup even more of that. But yeah, it wouldn't take but so many 7s or 11s to whack me in the face on that. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Now that's on a
Go ahead.
.7 out, but you can wait one roll. You could let them get their point established, let them roll, so you never get hit with a point seven out because you don't put your money out on the until the second roll. And that's but are the odds any different?
No, no, it's the same. You got 1 in 6 chance of that
Yeah,
7, and there's still 6 ways to get that 7. So eventually, you got to dive into the pool with it, whether it's on that roll, and if you're a guy like me who believes it's all random anyway, um, it could happen, it could not happen on any given roll. So why not go for it? That's interesting. But then again, I'm kind of a little bit of a hypocrite because on the come out roll, if I have some come bets up, I'll never say turn on my odds, or very rarely have I ever said that. I should say never, because I'm just it's an
yeah,
angst of having it all out there. But then again, the very next roll, guess what? It's all out there anyway, and I can't do anything about it. So a little bit of a
yeah.
hypocrite on that. So I don't know. It's very,
You know what?
but
You
it
know what?
appeals to me, one hit though to get down and then you're playing. And I
Well,
don't know
most
whether our people will
strategies,
like it or not. I
yeah.
don't know.
Well, most strategies probably need two hits. I think most people are going to be very like, "Hey, get two hits," and then so say you are on that $10 table and you want to play for the 44 inside.
Sure.
Um, you could do 66 inside, so one level up.
Hmm.
If it pays 21, same bet. That's one hit.
Right.
21 again. That's two hits. You have $42.
So for
Then you can
two
go down to
bucks more, yeah.
44. You go
Yeah.
down to
Just
44 after two hits, and then you have
$2
you're
at
playing
risk.
for $2 at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could
Yeah.
do that any level, but I think the trick is that you have to go up one level
At
than
least
the table
one.
you're on. Yeah, at
At
least
least
one.
one.
So
At least one.
so if you're on a $15 table, you want to do 88, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then
It
you
would.
go down to 66 after two hits.
Yes. Now that's kind of what you described there was kind of like what Jeremy's was, the video he put out last month. Only 2 hits needed for Profit Town. He didn't.
Yeah,
I think he had 140 going across, and I forget how it was placed, but he had 140 going across. He took the hit, and then he regressed down a little bit. He wasn't out of the hand, but he dropped down a level, and then once that second
yeah.
one hit, then he was able to be out of the hand with a little bit of a profit, which is why your video that you put out this week was very intriguing to me about, hey, maybe we need to rethink it. Maybe craps needs to be a game where you need to, instead of playing twice a year with a smaller bankroll, maybe you need to save up and give it a shot. That type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, and if you really want a chance to win, I think most of us develop our bankroll or our system based on the minimum of the table.
Hmm.
But I think, and this is why I think maybe we've been playing wrong. Perhaps maybe whether we're going to do the 154 across or one level up, you should treat the table as if it's one level up. So if you're going to play 44, if you want
Hmm.
to play 44, treat it like a 66. Get your two hits and then go to 44. But if your bankroll is there for a $10 table, 44 inside, you have to get four hits instead of two or instead of one.
So basically, what you're saying for the newbie that's out there, if you either have two choices, one is you got to bounce it up a little bit bigger. If you're going to be a place better, you got to go
Mhm.
up at least one and cut your hit number of hits down to 2 instead of 4. And
Yeah,
that
I yeah.
that's what you're saying. That think the wrongness is trying to expect you're going to get 4 hits on every roll, because everybody knows no matter how you play, that's not happening. And the rules are the rules are the rules. There's no way in the world that you are going to, using the field and the house edge, there's no way you're going to overcome it. So you have to either be patient, or you've got to lower your expectations and play with smaller number of combinations and hope for luck, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And a lot of like on a lot of other games as well, blackjack, roulette, whatever, people are going to say, a common term is I have this many bullets, right? Like I have
Right.
this many bullets, this many times I could get knocked off. Well, have you seen somebody come up to the craps table and buy in with $100 on a $10 table?
Not very often, but I have seen it. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen.
Yeah.
I saw somebody this last cruise I was on. They brought $40. This is a $10 table. They had two $20 bills. They're
I'm
like,
in. Yeah.
I'm in, and they said, give me a 5 and 9. So
Okay.
they spent it all in one shooter.
How'd it
And
work out for him?
yeah, they walked away right after. Soon after, they didn't
Yeah.
get a hit on the 5 and 9 because we know. I don't know. Have you ever experienced this? How many people? Let us know in the comments. We're talking 44 inside or 154 inside, whatever you do inside, 220 inside, right?
Right.
And then a 4 rolls, a 10 rolls, a 12 rolls.
Yeah.
Everything
Four
but
rolls
the
four
inside.
times. Yeah. Four
Yeah, yeah.
rolls.
And
Yeah.
and you're like, all I needed was one hit. Even with the two hits, there's so many times. I mean, how many times?
There's a lot of numbers out there.
Well, you'll be on the inside. They'll roll 5 times and you haven't even got one hit yet.
Yeah, it'll be a bunch of horn numbers all over the
Yeah.
place, and then it'll get a 10. It'll be 6 rolls, and none of them will be inside box
Yeah.
numbers.
So that's where the Iron Cross comes in, right? It's like the Iron Cross. And this is where I think people play the Iron Cross wrong because we're talking about playing wrong. Here's another way
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
play wrong.
Okay.
They say, well, forget the 9. I'm gonna do 44, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the 5, 6, 8, and filled. I'll win on
Any roll but big
anything
red.
but the 7, anything
Yep.
but the big red, right? Well, if you put the same level of $10 table, you have to put normally you have to put $10 in the field
Yeah. Mhm.
if you're on a $10 table. And a 5, 6, or 8 roll, you lose your field, you get paid 14. So now you're betting $44 for $4
Yeah.
difference,
Yeah.
or $10 if it's a field. Now, how many hits do you need? I mean,
Right.
you can get all those other numbers, but you need a lot of hits.
Yes.
So I always tell people, if you're going to bet $10 in the field, make sure to go one level up in on the 5, 6, and 8. So $15.
At
You go one
least,
level
yeah.
up,
Yeah, at
yeah.
least, at
So you go
least.
$15 on the 5, $18 on the 6 and 8,
Mhm.
$10 in the field. If the field rolls, you win $10. If a 5, 6, or 8 roll, you lose the $10, but you get paid 21. So on
Mhm.
every roll, you can win 10 or $11. Unless it's a 2 or 12, they'll pay you double or triple, however, whatever table
Right,
you're
right,
on.
right. Mhm.
So you have $44. No, not 44 anymore, right?
Yeah, because
So
15, yeah, it adds up.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so you're up.
18,
You have
18
to.
is 36, and 36 and 15 be 46, 50, 52, right? 53. 53, I think, is what it would be.
Yeah. So that's if you're winning 10 or $11 on every roll, how many hits you need?
5. Yeah, there it is again.
It's there
Yeah.
again. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things where the reason why I think our expectations are too high. Like
Mhm.
Jeremy always says, however you want to play, what does he say?
Good
Good luck.
luck. Yeah, on
I'm
coloring up. Yeah,
coloring up.
you're gonna need
I
some luck at this
Yeah,
game.
I think we have a little bit too high of expectations on whether the dice are going to roll in our favor, or we're going to get the hits, or whether somebody can influence, or whether it's random or whatever. Even if, I mean, what anybody that actually does dice influence or believes in it, the dice influence isn't like, okay, I'm going to set the dice like this and I can roll a 9. There we go. I rolled a 9. Most of the time, it's just trying to avoid the 7. They're doing their best, and we're all trying
Mhm.
to. I mean, we all want to avoid it if we're on the light side,
Right.
and whether you just grab them and throw them, or whether you set it and throw it. The purpose and point is everybody wants to avoid the 7 if you're on the light side, and I think our expectations are a little bit too high
1 out of 6, yeah. Yeah, got
Yeah,
a 1
yeah.
out of 6 chance of it not, but, yeah, expectations, but I do like the idea if you're gonna place bet to get out of the hand as quick as you can, and I admit that your 154 inside gives you 18 combinations, which sounds great. I think Jeremy's 140 gave you
Getting the 4 and 10,
the
yeah.
4 and 10 gave you a little more chance, but you needed that extra hit. So for $14 difference, 2 hits versus 1 hit to me, is the $14 going to be that much of a difference? So if you did 10 times the shooters instead of 1540, you need 1400 for an extra $140. Is there that much of a difference? And again, I guess it goes back to risk and reward of what you want. If you're going for that hit.
And and that's why I think people, they want to like just attack the table, and they'll take,
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 shots at this. So they'll bring their bankroll, they'll play a third of their bankroll, and they're like, here we go. And they're there for
Yes.
10 or 20 minutes.
And boom, they're
Um,
gone. Yeah.
or they made their money and they're out. Most of the time, if
Lightning
people
strikes.
play like
Yeah.
that, they're very disciplined to lose it all or win and walk, just win and walk. But of course, the part of the game is so much fun is just being there and playing.
Oh yeah, it's the
Yeah.
thrill. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
adrenaline rush. I don't jump out of airplanes, but I would imagine the adrenaline I get when I'm playing would be similar to the adrenaline everybody else gets, whatever exciting sport they're doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
the squeeze, when you're anticipating, they're getting ready to launch, and you're waiting, and right before they call it out, there's and everybody starts high fiving and all that, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's addictive. We're all hoping, but is the expectation, is it wrong for us to expect multiple hits on these rolls? Because sometimes somebody comes in and they'll hit the point, a couple, 3 times where you win on the
Yeah.
pass line. And other times the dice will go around the table 10, 12, 14 shooters and, 1 point hit or something like that. And there might be some
Yeah.
repeaters for place betters, but is it the expectation too much? And do we need to be? I saw, and we'll get to these comments on the monster roll in a little bit, but is the expectation? Are we just expecting too much out of a game that we know ultimately, the longer we play, the more we'll lose and the better advantage. I mean, the casino has that advantage on every bet, every roll, every time, as far as that house edge goes. And even if
Yeah.
you do flip flop it and go to the dark side and you're taking the risk away, and now, you took the risk on the first time and now the seven's on your side. It's still, I've still seen don't players lose their shirt. I've seen continuous don't comes. Just, I've done it. I've tried it a couple times. A couple cruises ago, I
Yeah.
was on a cruise and I got killed myself. And then I switched over and said, "Oh, I'm going to play all don'ts." I got all 6
So you
don't
went like to the
come bets
dolly.
up. And then I went on a monster roll and I knocked them all down, repeated every one. And it
Oh
just,
wow.
it just killed me. Then killed me. So yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
It
So
can happen.
I think, and this is what happens too. And this could be like, are we playing wrong? Here's a question: are we playing wrong if one, we're spending more than, if we're not ready to be there for 10 shooters, are we playing wrong? I don't know. But that's what I would think. Because you want to play for, like, imagine a baseball game and you're like, hey, it's the fourth inning, I'm out. See ya. You don't
Yeah.
finish the game. So the way I think about it is 10 shooters or 10 rounds, that's the game.
Okay.
Play that game. That's craps. I think that's the craps game. Most people won't. They won't think that. They'll think that's not the craps game. Craps game is put your money down, win, and leave up. Color up.
Get
Right?
out
That's the
quick.
craps game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out quick.
But if you want to play the game, play a 10 session, 10 round, 10 hands, however you want to think about it. And then after the 10 hands, evaluate. So let's say you did have your $500 and or let's say you had $1,000, right? So
Hmm.
you can do $100 per shooter, and you know that. You go 10 shooters and you have $500 left. Well, now, if you want to play another round or another session, whatever,
Right.
you want to stay after the 10 shooters, evaluate your bankroll. Okay, I'm at 500. Now I only have $50 a shooter, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could play the other way where it's like, you have the 154, you got knocked off a couple times, you got a little bit back. After 10 shooters, you're like, okay, I started with 1500. Now
I'm in the neighborhood, whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other way, if you're up, you can take your profit, put it aside, or you could take your original bankroll, put it aside, and then figure out how you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're up, if you came with 1500 and now you have 2000, you could say, okay, now I'm just going to play with the 500 so I can play another round. Or you're going to say, I'm going to take the 500, put it away, and play another round with my 1500. I
Right.
think that's the kind of way to think about it. That's
Do you,
that's
do
all I'm
you
saying.
do you think like the length of like say if you're going to Vegas or if you're going like if you don't have a casino in your town and where you're going has you're going there is definitely to gamble. Do you think the length of your trip and the number of bullets you have or the amount of time this money has to last, do you think that's got a big determination of how you play and the expectations and all that good?
Yeah, I think that's why we might be playing wrong. But whether aspect, your bankroll, your strategy, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or whatever you want to bet. I think that's, we say, I want to do 44 inside and I have $300. You're playing wrong. Like, I know that's kind of a, maybe not a
In your face, yeah.
in your face judgment, like you're playing wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe some people say, no, if you buy him for too much, and then you go down and you want one hit, you're playing wrong. Like anybody, that's the cool thing about this game is, like Jeremy says, however you want to play, just play your game
Yeah.
and you play yours and you play yours. And, you see people on the don't, and you're on the light side, and sometimes you'll knock off their don't, and some people are like, oh, sorry man, I knocked off your don't, and they're usually like, hey, it's the game, don't worry about it. And then other
Mm-hmm.
times they're like, haha, I knocked off your don't. I think it's
Yeah.
all about how you're acting too, your attitude towards the whole thing as well.
Attitude, yeah, and when you're at the table, it's amazing to me the number of times you get there, and that's what I love about the basic game is most people, I don't know if it's 90% or whatever, they're playing pass line and we're all on the same team. You might have some hybrid guys, you might have a couple don't guys with some stacks. Typically a lot of times I'll see the don't players, they look like they got a lot more money because they have to put it out there to win, half as much at
Yeah,
times, that type of thing. But yeah, it's almost like it's a battle on that. So
I
yeah,
think
it's
I like
it's
what
wild.
John from Pro Craps and
Hmm.
Casino Gaming TV, what
Yes.
he says. We're all playing against the casino. We're not playing against each other. So
Yes.
anybody that's on the don't pass is not against the shooter, because then uh anybody that didn't play the point would be against the shooter. Say your point is 6 and I play the 8, I want the 8 to hit, not the 6. So am I against you or am I against the casino?
Yeah.
No, we're all playing to win.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no forward again. And the other thing too, I've seen some don't players too say, "Hey, you come butters, whatever. I hope you get some bunch of repeaters out there. You press
Yeah.
betters, place betters, double, triple up." Right? He says, "I just want to at the end. I just want the last roll, the last number to be a 7. If they're on the don't pass, that's
Yeah.
so make all the money you want, go 30 rolls, but I want that last one to be a 7.
Well,
You know,
chances are
1 out of 6,
every
right? One out of
okay, I
six.
got this thing. Let me throw this out here. Okay, I I have a way that you can guarantee that you will never 7 out.
Yeah, don't shoot.
Well, yeah, okay, that's one way, of course. But no, this is really, you grab the dice are yours, you throw it, you establish a point. I know how you can never 7 out.
Okay.
Pass the dice.
Yeah. Okay, that one too. Yeah.
Which I never experienced that before. But so there was a guy that was rolling, and he put $10 on the line, he established a point, and then he wanted to do it was like a six, and he wanted to do 5 times odds.
Mhm.
But on a cruise ship, you can only do single odds with $10.
Yes.
So they told him, if you want 5 times odds, you have to put $50 on the pass line to get 5 times odds. And he goes, no way. And he goes,
Yeah.
and I'm not playing if I have to do single odds. And so he went to pick up his pass line, and they're like, you can't do that.
Can't do
He
that.
goes, he
Contract
goes,
bet.
and this is what he says. Don't tell me I can't do that. He picked up his pass line and walked away, and everybody's like looking around. And I was the next shooter, and the pit boss goes, okay, you have to hit his point. And he passed the dice to me, and I never experienced that. I never
Wow.
experienced that you can like that they would pass the dice. So I'm like, this is a six. I can hit a six. What are the odds? So I
Yeah.
roll a couple. It's my six, even though he established the point.
Mhm.
So I roll a couple times, and I seven out. I'm like, oh man, I didn't even get to establish my own point. I had to roll his point, and it was a six, and I couldn't hit it. So then I felt bad because there's 5 combinations. There's so many
Yeah.
ways I can make, you know. And then the pit boss says, okay, it's your roll. And I said, I just rolled. He goes, no, you were rolling his roll. It's your roll now. So I sevened out and then rolled again. And there was a lot of people at the table too. So that was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, and that was on a cruise or was on land base?
Yeah, that was on a cruise. Yeah.
So they don't have like some like special dogs in the back getting ready to run out and chase the guy down for his $10 or
They
whatever,
just let
or
him go.
they just ate the $10 on
On a
that one.
cruise, yeah, they just let him
Yeah.
go. But
I
yeah,
know in Vegas they'd take them out back, put their head in a vice, that kind of thing, but not
yeah,
old
probably.
Vegas, old Vegas, right? But
So
yeah,
yeah,
you
I
probably
thought that
wouldn't
was
play there
very
again.
interesting. So I thought that was very interesting that you can establish a point and then just pass the dice, you know. So maybe in a future episode, there's another way you can play wrong. I think you can
Okay.
play you can play wrong with just not having proper etiquette. Like that could be something, and a lot of people don't realize that. But
Right.
we talked about the baseball analogy.
Mhm.
Uh, Imagine people are in the middle of a baseball game. The pitcher's getting ready to pitch. The batter's right there. And you walk up and you just like, hey, I'll be out in the field. And you just take your mitt and try to walk out in the middle of the game. You're going out. There's already somebody, everybody's there for that inning or whatever. But you say, hey, I'm ready to go in the game. And you just run in the middle of the field and I'm going to catch this ball or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think if the puck is on, everybody that was there is playing that game. So let them play their game, and then when it goes off, then you can join the game. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
way to play wrong, I think. But
Okay.
it's like a
Okay.
player etiquette thing. There's all kinds of things that people can do that I think would be wrong. Just wrong. Like hands when the dice are coming that way and it hits
Mhm.
their hand. Why was their hand in the table to begin with?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
way to play.
Oh, and then
Stuff like that.
what happens when that hits the hand? What's always the number on that? It's
Well, see,
always the number, yeah.
confirmation
Yeah,
bias says,
confirmation
oh,
bias,
how
yeah.
about this? It's only a superstition because it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that the wrong and again, getting back to the title of it, the wrong way to play is we're expecting 4 hits. Expectations might be too
Yeah,
high. And then
yeah,
your video and some of Jeremy's videos again encourage people to get out of the hand very quickly, albeit whether it's 140 in Jeremy's video from last month or your video this past week of 154 in one hit. And there's no
yeah,
guarantees because you could, like you said earlier, you can get pinged right, whenever you put that 154 out there, whether it's after the come out, 5 count, whatever, the very next roll we all know has a 1 in 6 chance of being big red. So eventually there's going to be some risk involved. But in theory, to me, as a come better, your way sounds better to me, but I don't know if I could afford it. Your way
but
sounds
and
more
that's what I'm.
your way sounds more appealing to me, but I don't know if I can afford it. And I don't know the people that I associate with could afford it. But if there was a $10 table and I was a man of means and 154, that would be a fun way to kind of see if the theory holds true and see how many times out of the 10 would you get popped with
Yeah,
losing the 154. Can you dodge that 7 before that one hits. How many times out of the
Yeah.
10?
Well, and if you're playing the game, after 10 shots, you see, okay, I brought my 1500. I'm leaving with what? And
Blank.
that's how you
Yeah.
determine whether you won the game, broke even on the game. You could say I 100% lost this game if you lose all your money.
Mhm.
I 100% won the game if you double your money. You know,
Mhm.
if you break even, you're like, I played the game.
Yeah, you played. You played. I know. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting way of looking at it. I know some other people have put some other things about betting. We're going to get to all those things here in the monster roll in a little bit,
The
but
monster roll where we answer the questions that
you will
everybody
answer the
has in the chat
questions. And again,
live.
if you're just joining us, it's Substitute Sunday. Jeremy is on a cruise, and ironically, our guest host is Brian stepping up to fill in. And he's doing a fantastic job. But again, our
Thanks.
title is playing. Are we playing wrong? And that's a question mark. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
people out there who are of the mindset that we need to get our money back off the table as soon as we can and play with quote unquote house money that's out there, and then
Yeah.
be a little more risky and press up with that type of stuff. And Brian's way is one, sounds like you need a $1,500-$1,600 bankroll to pull it off. But how many times out of those 10 shooters or whatever are you going to get sniped? And that's the big question. If you get sniped 3 or 4 right off the get go, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And if it's 2 sevens and 11, how much more do you need to win just to be even? You need those repeaters out there.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to, why are you playing? Like, most
Hmm.
people are playing just to win money.
Yeah.
Most people are playing to be there to win comps for a free cruise, or most people are
If you're
playing.
one of your guys, yeah, if you're one of your
Most
guys.
people are playing for just the camaraderie of playing with friends,
Hmm.
you know. Um, most people, they, I think if you break even, that's a win.
Yeah,
It's a win because if you break even, you're winning. Um,
absolutely.
there was a guy on this last cruise. He came up with $1,000. Talking about having enough for 10 shooters. He came up with $1,000.
Okay.
He put it all out. All out. I was rolling. I had a couple good, really long rolls on the cruise. So he, but and this could be, is he playing wrong when he puts out? He comes up with 1,000, puts it all out, looks at the shooter and says, "Hey, I'm betting on you $1,000. I need to win $1,000."
Yeah,
That's
that's
what he said to me.
yeah, put a
That's
lot
what
of
he said to
pressure
me.
on you, huh?
Which I know it's a game,
Yeah,
right? No pressure.
yeah.
So I roll, he presses, I roll again, he presses, I roll again, he presses. He hasn't collected anything yet. He's pretty much just pressing, pressing, pressing. And I'm not getting any repeaters, by the way. And then I finally do get a repeater, but he had
Okay.
pressed. He had pressed everything all the way across. I mean, maybe not everything, but definitely the 4 and 10. He didn't take the first hit. He pressed it. So
Mhm.
it's up there into like the $200-$300 level.
Woo.
And so because he said that to me, I thought, well, he's not really keeping track of everything. So, and this could be bad, but this is what happened. I rolled and I didn't hit the point yet, but I was rolling in numbers and he everything. So I look at his rack. I look at what he has on the table because he did collect. Now he's collecting a little bit, and he has $1,000 back in his rack. He's out of the hand,
Oh, good for
but
him.
it took how many rolls?
Yeah, plenty.
Right. So he finally got out of the hand. And this was, good luck because I was hitting the right numbers for him. And I said to him, I said, "Hey, you wanted to win $1,000?" He goes, "Yeah, I got $1,000." I'm like, "Yeah, but you started with that $1,000." And I looked at him and I said, "If you regress right now, you'll be able to have your $2,000 and still have money on the table." And he goes, "Nah, let's go." And I go, "Are you sure?"
Wow. So you coached him up a little bit, and he.
Well, because he put all that pressure on me saying, "You need to
Hmm.
win me $1,000." So I said, "I did it.
Yeah.
You won your $1,000 if you regress right now. Take it down." I literally said take it down. He had been drinking a little bit, but but I said, "Take it down." And he goes, no. And I looked at the pit boss, and the pit boss is like,
So you would definitely
I don't
say
know.
he's definitely playing wrong.
Because it's time. You won your
Yeah.
1,000. Now, if that was your goal, you just won it. Take it down,
Mhm.
still have money on the table, and walk, win and walk. I I didn't want the seven to roll, but I just knew. I mean, every roll. I mean, once he
It's
got
coming.
to his goal, he had his goal, and I was helping him recognize that he had his goal. And I rolled and it was a seven. The next roll was a seven. And he goes, Mother, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Of
But
course.
at least he had some, another bullet to play with. That type of thing.
Yeah, but he was playing with one bullet.
Yeah. It was a big
One
bullet.
shot. You had
A
one
big bullet.
shot, you won, and you decided not to walk, with your goal. So having
Yeah.
a budget, having a goal, like why are you playing? I think that, you only you can know if you're playing wrong in that sense. You know,
Mhm.
you could be playing wrong if your goal is to win money, like this guy did, but then left it out there. That could be wrong. That would be playing wrong. Like if you didn't, or maybe not disciplined, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you want to play for the fellowship and the friendship, the camaraderie and experience, maybe you have a certain amount of time you want to play and that's your goal, but then you're spending more than 10% of your bankroll, you don't break it up into 10 shooters,
Right.
maybe you're playing wrong. You
Or
have to ask yourself.
you have X bankroll and you're either on a cruise or you're on a Vegas trip or whatever, but you need so much money per session, and maybe that session money doesn't jive up and match up to you,
Yeah.
like you were talking earlier, to your system or your strategy or whatever you're playing. So
Yeah.
the expectation might need to be changed, and you might just need to back down to a 6 or an 8 or whatever, and hope for 2 out of the 10 out of 36, maybe. I don't know. Or you drop back to being a lowly come better or don't come better or something.
Yeah.
You just got to make it stretch until you can build your bankroll up a little bit. But
Yeah.
anyway, I can't think of any other way of saying, hey, you're either playing wrong or you're not playing wrong. But the way I think the main gist of this episode is most people who play, whether you're playing inside numbers, across all the box numbers or whatever, you need multiple hits to recoup that money on the table. And Brian and Jeremy and some of these guys saying, hey, you might want to bump it up a little bit, and either
Hmm.
through Brian's method of 154 on the inside or Jeremy's 140 across in 2 hits, or Brian's method 154 and 1 hit, go ahead and drop back down and regress and get that money off the table. And then from there, you can, gamble and press up and all that good stuff. But even still, no matter how you play, whether you bet a 6 or whether you bet 6 and 8 or you do the inside numbers, no matter how you do it, you still got a 1 in 6 chance of Big Red raising its ugly head out of those 36 combinations. And that it is a monster advantage of it. So, like Jeremy says, no matter how you play, good luck on coloring up, because there's no way to beat this game long term. The more you play, the more you're going to slowly bleed your bankroll away. And you have to, like you were describing your guy earlier, Brian, you got to walk away when you're up. And that's what
Yeah.
good, smart crap players do. That's what our color up club members. That's what Jeremy, has said in his videos or his YouTube people. You have to walk away when you're up and set stop loss goals. And when you drop back
Yeah.
down, if you get up 500, if you drop back down to 400 or 350, you're still up. You got to walk away. The dice
Yeah.
are turning. It's not always going to keep going up and up. It's just like the stock market. So, but anyway,
So
I
in,
think.
in in
Go
my
ahead.
in my goal, remember, I think breaking even is a win.
There you
So
go.
what I would have done, and
Okay.
we always say what we would have done if we were
That's
in that
right. That's
situation, but
right.
we don't
That's
know
right.
for sure
We
until we're in
never
that
know until you're
situation.
in the other guy's shoes.
But I would have regressed, got my 1,000, put my original 1,000 in my pocket, and I would have played as long as I could with that other 1,000.
Yeah.
And until they close the table, because they do close the table on the cruise, it's
Oh
not
yeah.
24 hours.
That's right.
So I would have played with profit. And then if they close the table and I still had profit, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Because I'm trying to play for time and break
Right.
even.
Mm-hmm.
But for him, he had $1,000 he could have walked. I will say, joining the Color Up Club, if Jeremy's website, colorup.club,
Mm-hmm.
has been awesome because you get the community, you get stories, you get even gifts at the $25 level, $25 a month, like green chip level or a red chip level. For a little of $5 a month, you get access to the Discord. We call it Dicecord.
Yeah.
Supporting Jeremy and what he does and this camaraderie that we have within the community to hear the stories, learn from everybody is great. So if anybody's not a Color Up member, we have DiceCon, the Dice conference coming up in Vegas. To get there, it's for all members. So five
Yeah.
dollars a month. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I know Jeremy doesn't like all that shameless plugging, and he doesn't like saying like and subscribe, press the button. He doesn't do that in his videos, and I think the data's mixed on that. But I'm sure you
Hopefully, he
know
doesn't edit that part out that I
part
just
out,
promoted the
yeah, because
Color Up Club.
that's the way he is. But anyway, I'd like to thank Brian for being here. I think we ought to go ahead and transfer over to the Monster Roll. And
Yes.
again, if you got any, in our Monster Roll series here, if you got any specific cruise questions, I got an expert right here to talk to you, and we'll go through the comments and get to them. And we appreciate you guys. So, as Jeremy always says, no matter how you play, good luck on coloring up. All right, and this would be where Jeremy would press some magic buttons and stuff, but we'll go up to the top and work our way down on the comments. I don't know if everybody's still around, but we appreciate it. Ryan, I know Joe with Craftsmaster Journey was in here. And by the way, if I respond to anybody's comments using it, it'll say Jeremy from Color Up, but it's really me. So we'll get rolling on that.
Full
So
disclosure.
full disclosure, yeah. So let's see. We got some of our regulars. Well, I can't believe I got here in time for the podcast. That was Ace jumping in, one of our newer people. So yeah, we're glad you're here. And then
Nice.
we had Weary Buyer Ken, a Color Up Club veteran, and went to our first Dice Con last year. And again, Joe with Craps Master Journey, which is right there. So we got some Hayes and shout outs on there. And
Jeremy, you
let's see.
grew a beard.
Yeah, you grew a beard. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, that was funny. Where was it? Somebody said, "Oh, yeah, Ace. Yeah, the kitchen." So just so we have full disclosure and explaining, this is not Brian. Brian
I
hasn't
should.
sold his house, and he's living in what do you call it? A minimalist little thing.
Yeah,
He
tiny home right here.
tiny home. That's what they call it. He's not in a tiny home. He has literally gotten off the one of the bigger ships, this
Symphony of the
Symphony of the
Seas
Seas, and now he's
today.
waiting today, and he's waiting to go on the what Independence
Liberty tomorrow.
Liberty. My bad.
So this
My
is a
bad.
little studio hotel we got for the night.
Yeah, and
So
you said it's close to the cruise terminal. You've got grocery
yeah,
store. You've got laundromat if you need it, and it's
yeah,
a
this is a
nice
great
place.
location because it has everything right around it. So
Yeah,
I'll do a
absolutely.
video about it. So subscribe to the
Okay,
channel and you'll
there you
see the
go.
video coming out. I usually don't
Absolutely.
do videos of hotels to stay at or where to stay, but a lot of people ask me that question. So I thought because this was such a good location, I figured I'd do a little video. So it's gonna be like a little 7-minute video about it.
Okay, awesome. So one of the little things Joe said early in the conversation, probably an hour ago, said his strategy is 2 or 3 hits to profit, and then play with the profit. So he tries to model what a lot of people uh, say is that
Yeah.
you got to get in and you got to, however you do it, you got to get the profit, and then you got to get your money off the table and be playing with theirs.
Yeah, Joe at Craftsmaster Journey does a really good job as far as like training, teaching, all of that. He practices what he preaches. I played with him live before.
Hmm.
He calls it blue collar craps. So it is the low bankroll kind of like start
Okay.
low and get your hits and play with profit. So and Joe's a great guy. So go over to subscribe to his channel if you haven't. Craftsmaster Journey.
Yep. There you go. And then we had Mike from 85 Bears, another Color Up Club member jumping on in. And let's see, here's another one where Adventures by Gunnerman said he can't find any $10 tables near him. And that's sad. But that's sad. But that's one of those things since COVID, they jacked them up and they haven't come down proportionally for a lot of stuff.
I think it
Uh,
could be. I think it could be like a mix of, yes, they want to make more money, but also I think they can't find dealers. Like there's a shortage of dealers, so they're like,
so the
hey,
limit, the capacity, they raise the
yeah,
table min.
yeah,
Okay.
because they don't have two tables anymore. They only have one, or they don't have three tables open. They only have two, So because they have less tables open, because they have less dealers, I think
Right.
that's why the price goes up a little bit too.
Okay. Okay. And let's see. Joe was saying DC bets are better because the seven only hurts one time, not multiple times. Yeah, that's true. You 1-7 takes down every one of my come bets, just like everybody else's place bet. But 1-7 or one number will only take down that one individual number, and then seven will come and
Yeah.
and
And
you
all
get
the rest
paid.
will win. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you'll
I
get paid.
like play that's my favorite part about playing from the dark side, like on the dome or through the DC,
Hmm.
is it just feels good. And like on a come out when you have all your odds, that
Yeah,
little rebate. At least the seven comes and you get some money. I think that's the
yeah,
best feeling because most of my craps career has been the seven comes and you lose
yes, yes.
everything.
That's most of everybody's career
Yeah.
is the same thing on that one. But
Yeah.
Tom's one of our regular listeners, and he jumped in and said, "Do you make the seven work for you, like with a hybrid? Do you ever do any of that?" I know when you're on a cruise, you're definitely doing that with like light
Yeah.
and darkness, and your
Yeah.
whole objective is totally different than when you're on land-based casino.
Right,
You know,
right. I rarely play Light in the Darkness on a land-based casino. And the other thing about on the cruise that's really good when you have free play is you can use
hmm
your free play chips on any bet. Like a land-based casino,
it's
uh,
pass line
it's only
or
pass line or field, I
don't.
think.
Yeah, or
Yeah. No,
sometimes
sometimes
it
they
just
don't let.
needs you to do the field. It's either
Yeah.
pass line or don't pass. They want to keep track of it. It's a even
Yeah.
money bet, but the fields, if you throw the 12 or the two, is not an even money bet. So
Yeah, so I'll either put all the free play on the don't pass and then put my real money out front. And if the seven comes, then I get my real money back. If the point comes, I lost the free play. No big
hmm
deal.
okay,
Or I'll put my real money on pass line, the don't pass, and then I'll hop the 7 and 11 for the come out and maybe a 12, maybe something in
okay,
the field
yeah,
with free play money. So if I lose that one roll bet, it wasn't my real money. I just protected my real
right,
money. So
right,
that's
right.
kind of, and then I put the same amount out. And if, and I hedge the point and all that, or hop the point with the free play money or whatever.
hmm
And it's, if it was real money, it's not a good system because
Right.
you're bleeding the whole time. But if it's use it or lose it and it has to lose, then I would just protect my real money with the free play money.
Okay.
So that's how I
Excellent.
play with the dark side.
Okay. And then Mike, 85 Bears always says, "Got to love the 5 count. You must have patience." So
Does Mike, does the five count? How
yeah.
often do you actually put a bet down if you're waiting for the five count?
Yeah, sometimes, yes, you can't get to 5. Yeah, but
Right.
at least he's not losing, he's not losing,
And he's probably accomplishing the goal of Mike because Mike's an awesome guy. He's there for the fellowship, friendship, hanging out with everybody, watching the experience. And a five count is the way to do it and save money.
Yeah, and then here's our Joe again said, "Are we playing wrong if we bet on all the shooters?" Now, if
Oh,
if
good
you're one of
question.
these if you're one of these hardcore dice guys, DI guys, dice influencers, dice controller, then yeah, you don't want to waste your time with a little humble random shooter like me. Wait until you get the dice or somebody you trust, that type of thing. But
or they
yeah,
call
so
it qualifying the shooter.
qualifying
L-
the shooter. Yeah,
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 let the shooter let the shooter hit a point before I bet on him, or
yeah.
let the shooter roll a certain amount of times, like a 5 count, before I bet on him.
Hmm.
That's a good way to play. But but I've seen people that I thought, oh my god, they have no idea what they're doing, and then they roll, a monster roll. And the
Hmm.
same thing, you have people, oh, this person's an expert, and you bet on them, and they're point 0.7 out.
Wham,
We all do
wham.
it. We all
Yeah, yeah.
we all do it. But I would say, uh, I would say no. Like, I have a different concept. So are we betting, or are we playing wrong if we bet on every shooter? I would say no. I want to treat every roll as it's the monster roll. You know,
Okay.
that's and if I treat every roll as if it's the monster roll, the way I do that is I get out of the hand as soon as possible, and then I'm half pressing or pressing and collecting or double tapping the point and regressing. You have to. That's the way I would do it. So,
Okay. Okay. So here's another one. And hey, I just realized some great with great craps. For those of you who don't know, he's got a YouTube channel also, and he put out an excellent video of slow motion dice, and I really loved it. And he like showed them hitting the table, and he pushed them off the same way pretty much every time. And if you get a chance, go check out that video and all his videos over there. But guess what? Brian, I was worried about being substitute teacher and messing up or whatever, but apparently no YouTube stream. So that's why Jeremy's. I mean, are we not on YouTube tonight, or I
well,
don't
we
know?
have to be. People are commenting.
Oh yeah, yeah. The little the red box with the arrow. I was gonna say his. Maybe we're not on Facebook. No, it says that we're
Oh,
on
that is on
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah, he's on Facebook. So you're not on Facebook tonight.
Maybe that's it. Yeah,
Well,
but it said it's
there went
it
half of the
says that it's on
viewers.
there. I don't know. It says it's on here, but who
There
knows?
went
I don't
half of
know.
the viewers. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
No
So
monster roll for Facebook.
yeah. All right. So let's see. Um, Whalen's ladder plows through numbers of shooters. I did see. I haven't seen the one on with Whalen's way crops on that one, but I did see John last year put out a video on a come ladder strategy where it's based on the number of units. So first combat has 1 unit, second combat is 2 units, and the third one has 4 units. And you always have to have that's the max that you have out there, and then you go ahead and if hopefully you bring them home, then you start the process back again with ladders. And then again, if it loses, I mean, you can lose with that one just like you can everything else, but it seemed to be a nice slow roll of getting sniped on
Yeah,
those.
if I played that way, I do kind of like a hybrid on that. I'll play $10 coming,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll do $15 coming, so that's
Okay.
$25.
Yeah.
Then I do a $25 DC.
Okay.
I have $50 at risk after the third roll, on the third roll, right?
All right. Okay.
If I get it established, if I get past that third roll and I have a don't, then I then I if I get the $10 or the $15 back or whatever, then I
You
just
can
put it
take.
back out there.
Yeah.
And if the seven comes and I don't knock off that don't, then I get my first 25, the two first ones, I get those back. Sometimes I will get the $10 set, the
Mm-hmm.
$15 set,
Mm-hmm.
and then the don't is right. Like I have the don't there, and some people say this is so wrong. Speaking of playing wrong,
Okay.
say I have a $15 went to the eight, and it goes to the eight, and I get my 15 back, and my don't pass, my don't come goes behind the
Goes
eight.
up. You pull it down.
I will pull it down and put the 15
Ah!
back. I'll put the 15
Ah!
back because it's like it. Then I don't have, well,
Get your
because I did risk the 50 at first, but then I got 15 back. So, and then I have 15 right there. So if
Do
the
you at least
seven
make it? Do
came,
you at least make it proper? Make it an $18 aid or whatever? Or,
no, no, it's a
oh, you're
it's a
talking about
comeback. So it
it's
established,
a
yeah.
comeback. Okay,
So
okay,
I do
okay.
comeback sometimes, but
All right.
but yeah, I think if I some people would say, Brian, you're playing wrong if you ever take down a don't. that got passed.
Yeah, that you overcame the 2-to-1 disadvantage, and then you're going to take it down because you know what's coming. Yeah, you know what's coming. Got a feeling. Let's see.
I usually only take down the 6 and 8, but I mean, sometimes I leave them there and they never roll again.
Let's see. Vegas Day Tripper had some hilarious total do side. Pedal to the Metal Craps videos recently. Anybody see him? Tom, I have not. Don't know. I need to look into that one. Haven't seen that one.
I haven't.
Or no to speak of on that one. Let's see what Joe had to say here. He said, I had a hard time on this last cruise because he spent most of the time playing on his own private table. Yeah. Sometimes you go on the cruises, depending on what time of day, it can be pretty lonely.
Yeah.
When I went on my last cruise with Celebrity this past July, for a long time, it was just me and maybe somebody else, and somebody come up with $20, that type of thing. So yeah, it even slowly rolling. He's rolling 100 times per hour. Joe, it is crazy on that one.
Yeah, that's I don't like
And they're always rushing me like, hey, go ahead 7 out so we get your dumb butt away and I can
yeah.
go on
I
break.
slow way down. Like
Yeah.
I don't slow down because more time at the table. I'm waiting for people to show up, and then
Yeah.
they're looking at me and they're like, "Wow, this guy's been rolling for a long time." Well, they don't know how many sevens
Yeah.
I had.
Your
It just
wife,
looks
you're
like a
wiping, you ask for a towel and they think you're going to the bathroom and you're wiping the sweat off your brow.
because on the cruise they count number of rolls. So if it's a busy table and it's full and it's taking forever to pay, and the time in between rolls is really long, you
So
could be there for an hour.
it
And
doesn't count for an hour.
yeah, but if you roll fast and you're there for an hour and you get a lot of rolls, you'll get more
Okay.
points per hour. But I don't go fast because I want more people there. Like uh I don't want to roll by myself. It
Yeah,
seems like
yeah, yeah.
whatever side
It's
I
low. It
always
gets low. Yeah, it's the whole
yeah.
social point of the game. If you're out there by yourself, it's not a very social game on there. You can chit chat with the dealers, but
Yeah.
it's not the
Yeah.
same. It's not the same. All right, Adventures by Gunnerman says, Jim, do you skip the pass line and wait for a point to place your first of 3 come bets, or do you play the pass line and count that as one? Yeah, that's what I usually do. Is Gunnerman is I will make the pass line bet, especially if I'm shooting. I will do that, and I'm just hoping for the best. Does it make any difference? I don't know. I just like that pass line bet. And sometimes, you'll get a couple 3 7s and 11 in a row. Sometimes I'll get sniped with the 2 3s and 12s. But yeah, it gets resolved about a third of the time on that first roll. And I'm hoping of that time, I will get, at least half the time, break even, as Brian says on that one. But yeah, that's part of my comebacks. And then if I start winning, then I'll make additional comebacks. And then there are times where I've gotten all the box numbers up, and that's when you really start sweating as a come better. I know, the place betters, they're used to going 44, getting 4 numbers, or 66 inside, or going all the way across. But for a come better with odds, oh my God, that every roll of the die of the dice is just crazy. And then when you see like, all you just want is a box number, and you start seeing all these horn numbers all over the place, it's just mind boggling, because you're like, oh my God, I just need a box number. I need to come down. I need to bring these chickens back home, that type of thing. But yeah, that's very true on that
Well,
one.
let me ask you this. This could be
Yeah.
like a question of like, are you playing wrong?
Uh-huh.
Somebody puts $10 on the pass line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a 5 gets established and they don't play odds. Would that be playing wrong? Because your $10 on the 5 would pay more than $10 on the pass line. Like if you're not going
Yeah.
to play odds, shouldn't you just wait for a point and then bet the
Hold,
point?
slow your roll there. Slow your roll. With me, it's all about house edge, and they forget that it's a different bet than the place bet. And Jeremy
Okay,
says,
okay.
unless you got to get up to 5 times. Don't forget, I can win on that just like everybody else. And I got a couple combinations out of that 36, as it's going up. So
Uh-huh.
I can hope like everybody else. And like Jeremy says, do you really want the 7, Jim, to win the $10? Or no, I don't. But
So
I'm going to give it a
you're betting
shot.
on the two combinations. Once you have stuff set, you're betting
Yeah,
on two
exactly.
combinations of
Yeah.
the 11. You're looking for the yo.
hmm Let's see what else we got on here. Um, yeah, let's see. Ken said, great topic in conversation. I like the perception that playing wrong is relative. Yeah, it can be, And I'll say, here's another one, Brian. What do you think about this? Playing wrong is when everybody else at the table is winning money, but you. That's playing wrong. That
Yeah,
is
how
a
does that?
definition of playing wrong. If everybody else is winning at the table, and you don't, or if
Oh
you're
man.
the shooter and you've rolled the ATS twice, or the all tall and small, and then you hit the all or the tall again, and you weren't on it, that is playing. That is what you call playing wrong by
Yeah, it
definition.
doesn't
Yeah.
feel like you're playing right. It's
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes you get like, you know, sometimes I will play just the pass line to shoot with no odds, and I'm only gonna hit the $10 to hit. I'm only gonna get $10 if I hit the point.
Only. That's right.
And I have other numbers, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'll roll the dice and it'll be like winner, winner, and other people they bet odds, they bet they're
Woo!
like,
Yeah. Way to
whoa,
go,
winner, winner,
shooter.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like a winner.
You got
like,
$10.
like I got
Congratulations.
$10.
Yeah. You almost have to put odds down if you're definitely the shooter, or put a place bet to get some squeeze for that juice. Hey, good news though. Look at here. Harrington still in Delaware still has $5 tables. And I've been up there and played.
Wow.
I've been up there and played with Joe. Up there in I say up there for me. It's up there, depending on where you are
Yeah,
listening.
Joe and Barbara. I think Joe went on a cruise without Barbara. I think. And then that's the one he was talking about where he was at the so he was not only alone without Barbara on the cruise, but he was alone at the craps table playing with nobody else.
Yeah. Now this is Joe W in up in Delaware. I think this is my buddy. He's a retired teacher, not the Joe from Craps Master Journey.
No, no, yeah, yeah. I
No.
know Joe. I went
Oh,
on
Joe. Okay.
Joe
Okay.
Joe won a cruise by supporting a raffle we did with Craps for the Cure.
Awesome.
And so he won the cruise. We took him on a cruise. I coached him, showed him how to win a free cruise. He got
Right.
a free cruise. So yeah.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. I couldn't remember Joe's wife's name. But
it's
thank you
that
for.
same
Yeah.
package that I have a package that I put together that
Mhm.
includes the coaching on how to get a free cruise and stuff. That's what I did with Jeremy and Rebecca as well. We took
Okay.
them on a cruise. I showed him how to earn a free cruise, but it's something that I'm thinking about putting together publicly where uh, it pays for your cruise and your bankroll, and then your coaching that I could show you how to win a free cruise. Make sure you leave with a free cruise. Pretty much, that's
At
what
least
we.
a three. Yeah. At least
Yeah, yeah.
like
So
have one in
it
your hand.
costs about the same price as a cruise, so it's not like you're
Hmm.
paying more or paying me more, but I've only done that for my members and partners, and then I did it
Okay.
with Jeremy since I'm part of the Color Up Club, just
Hmm.
as a test run, and obviously it's working
Hey,
because
you
it's
created a
him.
monster, big guy. Yeah, you created a monster on that one. So yeah, my bad. I didn't know you knew Joe, but yeah, he's a great guy on that one. Uh oh. Look at here. Says FY Jeremy, this might become the Jim and Brian show. Great job, guys. Well, we appreciate
Oh,
that.
thanks,
We
Joe.
appreciate that. But I know I'm second banana no matter where I am, whether it's Brian or Jeremy or whoever's in this box. And sometimes I'm the third or fourth banana. So I know my
Yeah,
place. I know my
I should
place.
perhaps maybe I should only be here if Jeremy's cruising.
Yeah, maybe. Hey,
And then if I'm not cruising. So that's
yeah,
the
flip flop. Yeah, do
yeah,
a little
yeah.
flip flop there. Which, by the way, next week, everybody, I didn't say this on the podcast part, but there's a possibility Jeremy may or may not be back in time as far as he's going to be traveling. Hopefully, he can get back here by
Yeah.
8 o'clock. So I'm hoping we can get at least one or two more shows in
He
before the
he did say to
holidays.
me if he can't get back, then he might ask me to do it again. Maybe
Okay.
he wanted to see how it went first.
Okay.
So we'll find out.
Hey,
But
if Brian and I, neither one of them are here next week, it's because of technical difficulties. I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
next week, so being I'm signature in the Royal Caribbean casino called Club Royale. I'm signature level.
Oh,
At
good.
signature level, you get a annual 3-night stay with $300 of resort credit for Red Rock.
Woo!
Yeah, so I'm
Woo!
gonna be at Red Rock in Hollywood, Florida next
Mm-hmm.
week because I'm gonna get
Okay.
off this cruise and then I'm gonna stay because it's use it or lose it. And I thought, hey, we're here, so we ended up we're doing we did a hotel stay before the cruise, then we're doing this night, then we're going on a cruise, then we're going to Red Rock for or Red, is that what it's called, the Hard Rock, Hard
The
Rock.
Hard Rock. I was gonna say Red Rock. I thought was
Yeah, sorry,
amphitheater in
Hard
your
Rock.
Colorado. Hard Rock.
Yeah,
Now,
I know we have the
where's the
Red
hard
Rock
Where's the Hard
Amphitheater.
Rock in
Hard
Florida?
Rock is that guitar, it's that big
Yes,
guitar
the giant
hotel.
hotel thing. Where is it
Yeah,
at? What city?
it's in Hollywood, so it's right north of it's between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Or maybe
Okay,
it's right around here. It's not far.
not too far.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we'll have 3 days there, 3 nights there. And we
Do
get
they
off
have
the
craps
cruise
in
on
Florida now?
Friday.
They have
Yeah, they
craps in
do.
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard it's expensive, but there might be a place next door or something that might have $5 or something. So some of the
Okay.
people are coming over. They couldn't be on the cruise, but they live in Florida, so they're gonna come and play with me craps at the Hard Rock.
Oh,
So
cool. All right.
yeah. So
Then
Hard Rock, I'll be there next Sunday night. So if Jeremy's not back or he can't do it, then he
hopefully
said he
got
might
some good
ask
news.
me. So
Okay.
I don't know what we'd talk about if we did it again, though. You'd
Well,
have to come up with another
we'll
topic.
we'll come up with something. We'll come up with something.
That's
That's
not
good.
cruising, right? Yeah,
No,
not
we're
cruising
not
then.
gonna. Yeah, because we don't want to step on your end of the pool. Let's see. David at this is from Tom, says David at Casino Quest says that the higher table minimums have really crushed the affordability of the game for the inside and across betters compared to the pass line betters. I would say, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you take a $10 table and now it's 15, you've increased it by 50% from 10 to 15. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. And then on the East Coast where I am, if you go north of Virginia or even like northern part of Virginia and then Maryland, $25 tables aren't, unusual. A lot of times that's the norm. And some of those places, like National Harbor, they'll have 8, 10 tables and, $25, $50 limits over there packed and you can't even get on the table. So it just depends on where they're at. And then I just want to throw this one up here. I don't know, Gray, if you're still around, but he said yay, but definitely yay for Gray on that one with that one. And JB Jordan says, yeah, we're on YouTube. So I don't know which feed that we're not on. So
So
hopefully
it looks like you were getting the comments from Facebook,
no,
even though
I'm
we're not live on Facebook.
really,
Because Brian from
was he
Hawaii
on
Crap
Facebook?
Shooters, yeah, it showed a little Facebook icon at the bottom.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because
Yeah,
I didn't see his comments, so he must have been on Facebook. Because I have YouTube open on my end for the comments.
I thought I had mine on all comments. Maybe I didn't have it on all comments. But yeah, anyway, we're learning. I'm learning. It's substitute day. It's substitute teacher day. So it's not like we have the professional up here at all. Let's see
I
what
think you
else.
did a great job. I think you did a
Oh,
great
thank you.
job.
It's a lot of pressure. Like I said, I appreciate. I have no illusions of false grandeur. I know I could be replaced anytime, and I just appreciate Jeremy letting me hang out and get to know people and do
I
stuff.
think you
And
do
that,
a good job. I think it's a really good balance between you and Jeremy as well. So
well, I
I think
appreciate
with
that.
Yeah,
I
hopefully
appreciate
this
that. That's
this
nice.
show wasn't overwhelming for everyone with you and me.
Oh yeah, spazzing out there. Yeah, that's
I'm just
true.
playing.
No, no, that's funny. Then Joe said no, that cruise is in January, so I don't know which
Oh,
one he
okay.
was. That was the
Yeah,
other one
so
there.
there's the next one he's going on, Barbara won't be there. So great couple.
Yeah.
Miss
Hey.
I would
Yeah.
love to cruise with Joe again.
Yeah, and then Craftsmaster Journey Joe says running show does present a lot of difficulties, and he would be willing and able to host
Oh,
sometime
that's
as well.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm glad there's a lot of what's the old proverb? Many hands makes the workload light. So, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff. There is no producer or anything. I'm just a one guy trying to click some buttons and everything. But I think we ran through all the comments, and I know you've got to start packing for your cruise
Yes.
tomorrow. And how long is this one?
Fortnite. It's a
4 nights.
fortnight. Now, I'm on the Liberty of the Seas. I've been on the Liberty before, but it was before that I actually started doing tours of the ship and tours of the casino for my
Okay,
YouTube channel. So this one, just because it lined up back to back,
it's going to count. Yeah.
I'm literally going on this cruise to take a tour of the casino and record a tour of the ship
Okay.
for the
Yeah.
channel.
Hey,
So
we're glad you're taking one for the team. We appreciate that. Hey, but how I know. Hey, I know one of your big goals. Maybe before we go, well, ask you this. If I already asked you this, please forgive me. But I know one of your goals was before you kind of spread your wings on other cruise lines, whether it be a sister
yeah.
line like Celebrity or something. You said you wanted to try to go on every Royal Caribbean ship. How
Yes.
if you had to put a number on it, what percentage of ships have you been on, or how many do you think you have? How
Yeah.
many you
Well,
have left? You think?
so they have 28 ships
Okay.
there, and I have in the smallest class ship, which is like the very smallest, oldest,
Yes.
uh I have three more ships to be on
Mhm.
those.
Mhm.
Um then the next class is the Radiance class. I have one more ship to be on the Radiance class.
Okay.
Then I've been on all the Voyager class ships.
That's
I've
good.
been on all but one of the Quantum class ships, all of the Oasis class ships,
Mhm.
and I haven't been on the Icon class because they haven't given away free cruises on the brand new
They don't
biggest
they
one
they
yet.
don't need
Yeah.
to. They don't need
Yeah,
to.
they
And
don't
they're
need
not
to.
going to. Yeah.
So I think that's five. So I have five more out of 28. And I've been on like the Allure, I've been on like four times, and the Brilliance I've been on twice, and Ovation I've been on,
We
twice. And
that's the
yeah,
Allure of the Seas. I've been on that one twice when we've done the big royal ships, and
yeah,
I'm telling you, once you go on those big ships, it's hard
yeah.
to go. It's hard to go down. It is
Yeah,
hard
that
to go
and
down.
so I went on the Grandeur, which is the very smallest, oldest. I think Grandeur came out in 1997, and
Mhm.
it's like 2,000 people or 2,400. And the Vision, the Rhapsody, and the Enchantment. I'm gonna be on the Enchantment in February, and it's kind of like I'm getting ready to go on the smallest one of the smallest oldest again, mainly to
Yeah.
get that tour. But I didn't get a tour when I was on the Grandeur either, so I'm like, oh man, do I have to go on the Grandeur again?
So our very first cruise was my 25th. I think it was 25th wedding anniversary cruise, which was like 7 years ago or something now. And when we did that one, it was on this ship called the Majesty of the Seas.
Oh yeah,
Majesty of
it's
the Seas.
gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
But when I got on that one, I thought I was on as a little neon peon. When we pulled up in the ship's port, I thought, man, because you see a couple of the other ones in port, and you notice it's like when you're in the locker room for the first time, that you're walking around. So I noticed my ship was a little small compared, and especially when we pulled up in the port. I was just like, man, are they going to ask me to clean dishes on this thing, or do I have to make my own bed? That kind of deal. But the people were great, and we had a fantastic time. And they sold that one. I think that one's out of the Royal Fleet. Doesn't meet their standards
Yeah.
anymore. that
Yeah,
type of
maybe I
thing.
could just wait out the vision class and just wait it out until they disappear.
Yeah, you could try that, and then you could say truthfully that you've been on all the
I
other ones.
think,
I
yeah,
don't
I
know how
think they're
long they're
gonna
going to keep them
do.
around.
I think they're doing another icon class, and then I think they're gonna
Yeah,
do
Utopia,
another.
was it Utopia is out, or what's the it was like
Yeah, I
Icon,
think
Utopia, and there was something else, right?
there's gonna be the Star of the Sea coming next year. It's an
Ah,
icon class, the next
right.
icon class.
Okay.
But then I heard that the next round of ones that they build, because they've been always doing the bigger, 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 bigger.
Yep.
The next round is, I've heard it's going to be called the Discovery class, and it's going to replace the Vision class, where they're going to go and make brand new smaller ships.
Oh,
So
interesting.
that's future of the channel, I guess. I guess that's job security that I
Yeah,
have
that's good.
to keep the content running. I guess it
Yeah,
being
yeah.
that I made this job for myself, that
That's pretty.
I
And
have to
let
go
me.
cruising.
It's. Let me ask you this too before I let you go, because I know we're
Yeah.
just blabbering on, but that's okay. But do you ever get like bored and tired of it? Like as a novice, I've been on, maybe 7 or 8 cruises now compared to you. You'd probably do 7 or 8 in every 2 months. But I'm joking a little bit.
Once a
Once a
month
month. All
on
right. So
average.
once
Yeah.
a month on average. So I know sometimes when I'm on a ship, I'm like, yeah, oh my gosh, like there's moments, not always, but there's moments where I'm kind of like, because I'm a real active guy and I like to do stuff and all. There's sometimes I just want to be off the ship after a couple of sea days in a row. I want to be on the land. I want to be accomplishing something. You ever get that little
Yeah.
angst uh
Um,
when you're out there?
I think that's kind of what helped the channel expand a little bit, because I'm like, man, I keep doing the same videos over and over. Let me get a tour of the ship. Let me get a tour of the port. Let me get a tour of the food area or whatever. And
Okay.
so I've kind of I kind of expanded the channel out of like, what else can I do? The
Yeah.
other
How many
part.
times can you say play craps on a cruise to win the cruise? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other part of it is, I have other businesses, so I don't like, when I'm on a cruise, it's almost nice to have some time where I can focus on a project. Like one cruise recently, when Amber didn't go with me, I just rewrote another edition for a book that I have out, and so that's coming out soon. So it's a total different income. It has nothing to do with craps or cruising, but it
Mm-hmm.
gave me time to just have like this work retreat. And so that's
Okay.
what I do. If I get bored, or if I've been on the ship before or whatever, I'm like, I'm gonna go on this one, so that I
But you
can
have a
have.
different plan of attack, a different purpose, a
Yeah,
different work
yeah,
purpose. Because I
yeah,
know a
yeah,
guy like
exactly.
you has a lot of irons in the fire. You're multiple, what do they call it? Serial entrepreneur, doing
Yeah, I try
businesses.
to. Yeah, I have multiple streams of businesses. I try to coach people and help them develop multiple streams of income.
Hmm.
So with all of that, I have clients that have nothing to. This channel, the channel Holy Roller channel, actually started from my business coaching, where I took a group of people and I said, I'm going to create a business
Hmm.
uh, out of something that I'm passionate about. I go cruising, I love it. Let's see if we can create an income, and that's what it has been. So a
Yeah.
lot of people know me from the Holy Roller and Craps on a Cruise, but I had a whole network, and I have a whole network of other people that this was just a side thing for them. Yeah,
Right.
this channel. So
So you stay busy. Bottom line is you don't get bored. You stay busy
yeah, yeah,
and you find other little projects to do and different things like that. But
yeah,
yeah, I love you. I
exactly.
love your videos. I love the channel. Love you and Amber. Sorry I didn't see her this past year at DiceCon, but we're looking forward, hopefully, fingers crossed to this
Yep.
June with DiceCon for the Color Up channel. But I think we're going to wind it up. And again,
Yeah. Right on.
thanks to Tom says, hey, thanks. What Tom right on here? He said, "Call your show nice guy crafts. Thanks for the fun show. Appreciate all the suggestions there, Tom. I know Tom's one of our big regulars, one of our buddies. But anyway, I want to say thanks, Brian. Appreciate you stepping up to the plate and being the
Yeah.
substitute teacher today. Hopefully, we didn't bore the crap out of everybody, and hopefully, I pressed all the
I
right
see what you
buttons
did
and
there.
everything.
Bore the crap out of everyone. The
Yeah, you see what I
craps out of
you see
everyone.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
like how
yeah.
you did that.
Hey, dad jokes still live inside of me.
Thanks
So,
for having me, and thanks
yeah,
everybody for watching, being a part of this, and if you're not a member of the Color Up Club, I hope Jeremy leaves that in there and leaves this in here too, because I think the Color Up Club is really a
good
great way to
people,
support
good
Jeremy.
people.
It's good
Yeah,
people. It's a way to give back. I think when I joined, I said I've learned so much from craps, and I want to give a little bit back. Thanks. That's what I said on my thing when I joined, and I mean it, man. It cost me a lot of money to learn crafts before I found the Color Up Club and Color Up with Jeremy. So,
it can be a very expensive game to learn and just to play in general. So
yeah.
it could be both. But yeah, thanks a lot on that. I think we're going to go ahead and we'll wind it up. So again, well, hopefully Jeremy will be back next week. If not, maybe Brian. If not, maybe no show. We will see what's going on. But we appreciate everybody. And again, thanks a lot. And we will see you next time on the Color Up Podcast. Peace out, people.
See everyone.
All right. Let's see. I hit end stream.